Hi, everyone. Very happy to be here and be part of the Festival of Maps and talk briefly with everyone and wow, help out kicking off the event. That's quite an honor, and thank you to the organizers for such an honor. And today's honestly, a short little talk. I've given so many long boring talks with thousands of foss4g pictures around the world. But today is a very short little talk about the foss4g ribbon and the passion for sharing. Um, so a little bit about where I am right now, where this is being given from. I work in a small little fishing village called Blue Rocks in the province of Nova Scotia in Canada. So in the sort of top right, you could see the Nova Scotia province, and in the small inset or key map, that's sort of North America, Canada, and then the far right east coast is a little red blip, and that's where Nova Scotia is. On the left side, you could see a couple pictures I took. That's my view. That's the Atlantic Ocean view. From a few days ago, which is you can see sort of the sun setting, and then the bottom left, which is more realistic and current rain. And from what I understand, everyone in the Philippines is unfortunately going through typhoons. I hope everyone's okay. I can relate. We can relate here on along the Atlantic Ocean. We have obviously a big hurricane season this year, a long one. So my thoughts and prayers to all the families in Philippines and elsewhere being affected by the typhoons. So yeah, in the bottom right, you could see a little note of where I am actually, an OpenStreetMap. How could I put a map in this presentation without having the map being OpenStreetMap? So there you go. Um, so of course, foss4g, we all know what that stands for. I often call this event Festival of Maps foss4g Philippines. I don't know what, I'm sure there's many names for it, but I often refer to it as foss4g Philippines. So um, yeah, so here we are, free and open source software for geospatial. I don't need to even look at my slides for that. But yeah, that's the term that we sort of use to share the passion for software sharing, data sharing, etc. For for now, wow, a long time. It feels like 20 years. Um, so in the early days of foss4g, I helped create and push the use of what is essentially a ribbon in every foss4g logo. And there's just one example. So that was an event a few years ago, foss4g Brazil. And they incorporated the foss4g ribbon into their logo. And you can see there, it's a symbol of the flow of ideas, innovation, and sharing within the community. Um, that's how I've always said it in my head, and if anyone ever asks me, that's what the symbol is. That's what the ribbon means. Um, so it's a flow and sharing throughout the community. And foss4g community, whatever community. So I always see foss4g about passing on knowledge to future generations. So I sort of saw someone tweet this image in the Japan community, and I sort of interpreted that. Although I did learn what that means, but my interpretation is that that's what that image is showing. Sort of like maybe an older brother slash father telling a younger child, about the wonders of foss4g. So that's a big part of foss4g, and that's relates to the ribbon, the flow of ideas and sharing. So of course we can't talk, or I can't talk about foss4g without mentioning the people, right? Um, so back in 2004, I attended arguably one of the first, or if not the first, foss4g event in Bangkok at Chula University, and I'm in the picture. I think Venka is taking it. Venka is in the far right. So in the right picture, me in the middle. Venka is in the right. He actually coined the term. And so that picture right there on the right, the three of us met way back for foss4g Bangkok in 2004. We discussed actually during a typhoon. This is not often talked about out loud, but the three of us mentioned this. There was a big typhoon in Japan, and I can still remember the terrible winds. And during that typhoon, maybe on a metro slash subway, we discussed about merging the grass and map server communities and into one annual foss4g event. So that picture is very special. Credit to Gerald for taking that photo of the three of us when we got back together at foss4g Europe. So just a little bit about how the ribbon spread. There would be literally hundreds of logos here if I could add them all. These are just a few samples. The one in the top left, of course, is foss4g Cape Town in 2008, and the ribbon is in the shape of Table Mountain. I thought that was very interesting. One of my favorites is right below it. That's foss4g Thailand, and actually I'm wearing the t-shirt right now. It's one of my favorites for sure. So you're aware of the Thai people. They often have wooden, typical wooden boats, and on the bow of the little wooden boats, often there are ribbons or tied around the bow, the front of the boat, or ribbons or flowers. And one of the organizers explained to me why the ribbon was placed there, or why it's often placed there on the boats. It's to sort of like a good spirit to protect the boat. And I thought it was very special, and so it's a special logo and use of it. The rest you can see some very interesting ones. There's the one on the right, far right. Volta is from Como, Italy, and so the organizers incorporated the ribbon into the battery, the flow of electricity through that, or flow of the charge. Interesting. Anyway, so you can see that it adds sort of a consistent branding. I don't like to use the term branding because it sounds so formal, and you think of rules and laws, and that's just not the case. It's more of foss4g ribbon comes with zero restrictions. You can just use it. It doesn't mean you can't have this type of talk or that type of talk, as long as the event is about sharing. I have seen some people sort of try to get into those restrictions. You rarely see me mentioning anything about restrictions, and that's why it's spread all around the world. To me, it's an event. A foss4g event can be from 2 people to 1,500, and I attend them all. In fact, I prefer to attend the smaller events. So every foss4g event is special, no matter what size. And really, it is about that last point about becoming a member of the family, the foss4g family. So. And what is foss4g about? This is in my opinion, of course, but it's helping the world through sharing. It's about teaching students, professionals. It's about learning. It's about growing. It's about training, hands-on workshops, master classes, whatever term you want. Helping economies of all sizes, whether it's the largest country in the world or the smallest. So that's really what foss4g is about. And the last thing, repeat. It means hold a workshop 1 year, hold it the next year, and always have the event so people can learn from it and grow. Of course, we've been in recently in some challenging times in the world with pandemics, elections. And that did affect the foss4g community for a little bit. But as you can see recently, in the past few months, you can see things picking up. And we as a foss4g community and family realize that, hey, we don't necessarily need to be at the bar together to enjoy each other and to learn from each other and still get experiences about sharing software, data, yeah, and standards. So foss4g is strong, and the passion is there. And credit to Venka's, at the time, 5-year-old oldest daughter, Mayuri. That's the image on that slide. And she drew that when she was 5. So that's it. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate to the Festival of Maps. I'll try to pronounce the event, Pista and Mapa. But thank you all so much. Credit to the organizers for 3 wonderful Fridays in a row of sharing about mapping, OpenStreetMap, foss4g, Osteo. Thank you very much, everyone. Hopefully, I give you some strength and passion for your own community, for your own workplace, for your own home. And if you take some of this passion and you share it with others. Thank you very much, and see you soon.